Today, I am going to be talking about allowing the light to come into your home as you are doing your homemaking. I am Rebekah with Learning Together by Grace, Homemaking God's Way. Y'all, let's go. Now that spring is in full effect, I am able to open up my windows, open up my doors, and allow the light to shine through. This is one of my favorite things to do. But before I go any further, I just want to share that I will have the link to my blog for this homemade biscuit recipe that I am making. Y'all, these biscuits are no joke. They are nice and buttery and soft. Trust me, they are worth the try. Now, back to what I was saying. Allowing the light to come in is one of my favorite things to do because it instantly boosts my mood. With every trial and tribulation that I've gone through in my life, I have had to remind myself to let the light come in and also to go outside and allow the light to come into my body, my skin, my eyes, all of those things, and just breathing in the sunshine, if you may. And with doing all of those things, it definitely changes the trajectory of my day. Later on, after we leave the kitchen, I am going to be going outside and doing some gardening. And this is so apropos for what this video is all about. A few weeks back, I got pink eye. I work with kids because I do teach some classes at a homeschool co-op, and also I work with children at my church, and I'm just always around children, and of course I homeschool, so I'm always around my children. But I did get pink eye, and I was quite alarmed because who gets pink eye at 43 years old? That was me. But one thing that I decided to do was go outside and begin gardening. And as I went back inside and I washed my hands, I washed my face off, I noticed that my eyes were beginning to clear up. Y'all, I was kind of surprised. And so the next day I did the same thing and my eye began to clear up. Being that I like to do more natural, holistic things, I wasn't taking any medication. I would put coconut oil in my eye right before I went to bed, and then I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would put some more in my eye so that it wouldn't bother me as I was going about my day. I could just sleep it off. And so using the natural sun, the natural light to bring healing to my eye was amazing to me. Now, I know that the sun has beautiful benefits in and of itself because it helps us produce vitamin D. And I know that a lot of people nowadays are lacking that vitamin D3, which is absolutely necessary for our bodies. But taking it a step further, allowing the light to come in. Whenever I think about the goodness of Jesus and all that he has done for me, I just think about how he is the light of the world. And when I think about being a light for his glory as well, that's something that I always pray for me and my children and my husband, that we would be a light for his glory. And so in my homemaking, I want to be a light for God's glory. And I want to allow the light to shine and come through my home and radiate Christ. So everything that I do try to do unto the Lord. So some people may think, homemaking God's way, that's a part of my introduction. Homemaking God's way, what do you mean by that? Well, for me personally, when I think about homemaking God's way, I think about everything that I do, I'm doing unto the Lord. And so that is a biblical principle that I try to live by when it comes to my day-to-day homemaking. Whenever I am cooking, whenever I'm cleaning, whenever I'm organizing, whenever I'm decluttering my home, I think about everything that I'm doing it unto the Lord. Another thing that I consider are the fruits of the Spirit. Because if I don't have the fruits of the Spirit as I'm homemaking, it is going to reflect in my attitude and my actions. It will even begin to reflect in my food, because I'll start burning things. I'll forget that I'm cooking something. And here comes the fire alarm, and it feels chaotic and crazy in my home. So, patience, long-suffering, kindness, gentleness, love. These are the things that I consider when I'm thinking about homemaking God's way. Whenever I am planning my meals, I'm being thoughtful about allowing the light of Jesus to come through even with my meal planning, because as I've always shared in my previous videos, I want to make sure that I am nourishing my family well. And so the meals that I am putting together, even if it is, maybe it's not the healthiest all the time, but am I doing it in love? Am I allowing my light to shine through in how I am presenting these meals to my family? Or am I just throwing things together? Now, there are days where I have had a long day, and especially during dinner time, I'm just tired and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just need to get dinner on the table. This needs to be as quick as possible. But even in the midst of me trying to throw things together, there comes a moment where I pause and I remember I'm doing this as unto the Lord. And I want to make sure that I'm allowing the light to shine through as I'm cooking for my family. I want it to be nourishing for their bodies. I want them to feel the love. I want them to be like, oh, Mom, or we're Rebekah for my husband. This meal is so delicious. Thank you so much. And, just for them to be able to have a moment of gratitude for what I have cooked for them. And also, going outside, being able to see just the beauty that I am able to make within my garden, within just our yard for our children to play in and to explore. My daughter loves going outside and looking at the butterflies and trying to catch them. She loves ladybugs. I've always called her my little ladybug, and she loves them, and they are always attracted to her. So, allowing my outside to reflect the light of Christ, even in just the way that I keep maybe my dining room table, do I allow the light to come in? And even whenever I am folding laundry, am I allowing the light of Christ to come in? So you guys, here is my breakfast for this particular morning. I always do a protein, a starch, fruit, or a vegetable. And that is what I have here. All right, on to my gardening. So being outside has brought so much healing to me. Another instance that I can think about is when me and my family got COVID. We were intentional about going outside, or I was intentional about having everyone to go outside because no one wanted to. We wanted to stay in the bed. But every single time we stepped foot outside, we felt a little bit better. And although it was hard because our bodies felt horrible, I know if anyone else got COVID, you probably can relate, or any other illness for that matter, you can relate. We felt so much better after we went outside and allowed the sun to just saturate our bodies, allow that light to come into our cells to help with rejuvenating things. And so I'm going to ask you, how are you allowing the light to come into your home as you are homemaking? Are you allowing the light to come in, or are you begrudgingly doing things? Mamas, I know sometimes it feels very hard and very taxing to shoulder the responsibilities that we have. One of the things that I have realized with being a mom now for 14 years is that I am the default parent. My children absolutely love and adore my husband. They do. They enjoy his presence. They have fun with him. They love getting away with things with my husband. However, I'm the default parent because I was the one that carried these children in my womb. And so they have a connection with me that they will never have with their father. And it's not to mitigate what my husband does and how he fathers them, because it is so necessary. So don't misunderstand or misinterpret what I'm saying. But there's a connection that only I will ever have because I carried them in my womb for 9 months. And because I am the default parent, they come to me for everything. They will literally be playing with their dad, and they will leave his presence to come to me to ask for permission for something. And I'll just have to lovingly or jokingly say, "Hey, weren't you just playing with your dad? Go ask him." And whenever they are wanting comfort, it's mommy. That's who they call. And so I know it can be hard for us sometimes as moms because we feel pulled on so much throughout the day. We may not want to show the light. We may not want to be grateful. We may not want to pause and allow the light of Christ to come through us and then radiate to our children and to our spouses. But I want to encourage you today, despite what you have going on, despite what you've gone through, despite what you are going through right now, remember to let the light come in. Open up those blinds, open up those curtains, open up those windows and those doors, and allow the light to shine through. Go outside. I was just telling my husband last week as we were taking a walk that I forget how much I need to go outside. I forget how much I love being outside, because when that light hits my face, it's like, refreshing to me. It's like something that is feeding and nourishing my soul, my inmost beings, you guys. And I have to remind myself, and sometimes I even have to schedule time to go outside. So you guys, don't forget to allow the light to come into your home and your homemaking. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Leave me a comment down below letting me know, how do you allow the light to come into your home? You guys, take care and God bless. Bye.